Good day and welcome to today's tutorial. I'm so excited to be showing you guys how to make this beautiful dress. So I know you would be wondering, or you'd want to make something like this for your beautiful baby girl. So watch, learn, practice, and do not forget to always make something. Yes, you need to practice whatever you are learning to be able to achieve. So let's go there. So welcome to my cutting table. So this dress, I'll be making this dress for a 2-year-old, and I'm working with my remaining sequin fabric, not up to 1 yard, I think half yard or thereabout, and 1.5 yard of plain material, this material called satin. Then I'll be using 5 yards of net. So watch, enjoy, relax, and make sure you practice. Thank you for your support so far. God bless you. So the actual length of this dress is supposed to be 23, 22 or 23. You know I'll be bending this. So I'm going to go ahead now to mark out the net measurement for this dress. So I'll be using 23. So after I'm done, I'll trim off. So now if I'm using 23, all my net measurement, the first layer will be 23. Then I'll come down by 1 inch for the second layer. Then for the third layer, I'll come down by 1.5 or 2 inches. So the first layer, I'm assuming it's going to start from here. The second layer, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. So I'll mark 1 inch all through. Then the third layer, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches all through. Then in this case now, I'll be determining how many layers of net I want. So I'll be using another layer. So this last layer now, maybe I'll come down after this one. I'll come down by maybe, let's say, 3 inches. So the third layer will be here. So don't give it that volume. Remember I said the first layer will start with this. The second layer, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. The third layer, I came down by 1.5 inch. And the fourth layer, I came down by 3 inches. Or you can do 2 inches, whichever way you want. So I'm going to go ahead to mark out or mark them all through, so I don't end up sewing on another line. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out all. Then after that, I'll cut out the desired length of my net. Remember, when you're cutting the net, you place your tape wherever that particular net is going to start from. So I'll place my tape here, cut out 13, place my tape here, cut out 11.5, and so on. So I want to go ahead and cut. But before I cut, I want to make sure you understand the readings of the calculation, the readings of how I want to cut out my net. So cutting out the first layer, I'm going to do a total number of my full length minus my half bodies. My half bodies is 9. So I'm going to do 23 minus 9. That is 14. So my first bodies will be 14. My first net, sorry, will be 14. Then remember I said I came down by 1 inch. So it will now be 14 minus 1 for the second layer, which will be 13. My second layer will be 13. Then the next layer is minus 1.5. So 13 minus 1.5, I'll get this next layer. Then that is 13 minus 1.5 is 11.5. So for the next layer now, 11.5 minus 3 inches. You understand? 11.5 minus 3 inches, because this one I came down by 3 inches for this. So 11.5 minus 3 inches, that will be 9.5, right? 8.5. So this last layer will be now 8.5. Then remember that the topmost layer has another joining, another gathers on it. So after cutting out my first layer, 14.5, then I'll now come down a little by maybe, let's say, 4 inches or 3 inches. Then I'll cut out another net that I'm going to gather on my first layer net. I don't know if you get me. If you don't get me, please ask question. So I'm going to go right on to cut out different layers of my net. I'm done cutting out my net. Yeah. So this is for the first layer. This is what will be attached on it. If you see the style, you notice there's a gathering on the first layer. This one is for it. I had to cut it plenty so that I can gather enough on it. Then this is for the last layer. These are for the second and third layers. So my nets are ready. So I will now go on to cutting the upper bodies. Then do not forget that I'm going to cut out the second of this for the lining. So I'm going to go ahead to cut out the upper bodies. The shoulder marking there is 9. So I'm going to go ahead to divide 9 by 2. That's 4.5. I'll mark out my 4.5 here. Then I'll come down by half an inch. My top is not sure. Then bring down my shoulder line, 4.5. Then I'll come in. You know the dress is going to have a sleeve. This is my shoulder line. So for the neck, I'll be using 2.5 by 2.5, or you can use 3, but I think I'm using 2.5. 2.5 by 2.5. This dress is for a 2 years plus. Then her chest is 22, so I'm using 5.5. And 2 divided by 4 is 5.5. Then the waist is 5.5 too. The same thing. The half length, sorry, is 9. So I'm going to add extra 1 inch for sewing allowance. So I'm using 10. Then my sewing allowance here, I'm adding 1.5 all through. 1.5. So I'll cut this out. Then I'll do the same for the back, but it's just that I will be leaving 1 inch allowance for the zipper. So now let's cut out the other material, both front and back. Then the sleeve, I'll be cutting out lining. Gather here, gather down, then turn it. So the only thing I'll do now is just to cut out my lining for this, because I'll be sewing this directly so it doesn't disturb the child. Then I'll cut out the same piece of this to turn it as the lining for comfort of the child. Welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and sew here, top stitch. See. So here, just close up everywhere. Then after doing that, I'll use the second piece to turn it. The one I cut out as lining, I'm going to use it to turn this. So you can see I'm trying so hard to keep them in place. You don't stretch. You avoid it. So I've finished sewing on it. So I'll go ahead and turn with the lining. I'll just use this to turn it. And I'll be doing the same for my back bodies. You can see I've sewn it in place. So I'll use this and turn. So I'm done turning. You can see this. Then it's just left for ironing. See? So this material is so fine. Feels like leather. So I'm done turning. I'll go on to the next. So I'll go ahead and join the shoulders. This to this, and this to this. So let me show you how I do it. I'll simply open this up. This is the back side. Then I'll take this, and in the way it's sewn like this, see, I'll put lining facing lining and make it lay down flat. Cover it. You can decide to use your pin on it. You can decide to just hold it with your hands. So from here down to here. Let me do it. So I'm done joining. You can see. So now I'll go ahead and prepare my lower bodies. So this side is ready. We are ready. So before that, I'll go ahead and join both sides first, as in shaping it. I'm going to sew. Remember I kept 2 inches, 1.5 inches allowance for joining. So I'll go ahead and join. Then after joining, I'll now head on to my lower bodies. So I'm going to join material to material first. When I'm done joining material to material first, I'll now go ahead and join lining to lining. You see, I'm joining material to material first, then lining to lining. That's what. Remember I left 1.5 inches balance for my joining, so I'm just going to mark out. Let me show. This is 7.5, so I need to remove 1.5 now. If you notice, I started my measurement from the material, not from this, from the material. A little too thick. Open up, press, use the good press, iron. So I'll go on to joining the other side. Then after joining this side, I would be joining the lining to lining. This is fabric to fabric I'm doing first. So after joining fabric to fabric, I will be joining lining to lining. So I'm going to just mark out 1.5 inches. I'm using my eyes because my eyes are my teeth. It's a little too thick, too heavy for this. You can see, I'll do the same for the lining. So I'm done joining. You can see, lining, fabric different, lining different. They were joined differently, so you can see how neatly joined it is. Just imagine how beautiful this dress will be. So you can see, this is the back. This is the back. So when I'm attaching on, I'm attaching separately. The lining different, the main body is different. So you see. So for this, I'll be working with 4 layers. If you've been following my video, you know this is my pattern of forming gathers for my lower bodies. So I'll be working with 4 layers: 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one is the first layer. The second layer, you come down by 1 inch. The third layer came down by 1.5 inches from the first layer. Then for the fourth layer, I came down by 3 inches from the third layer. So I'm going to go on and start with the lowest. This last one. I'll start by gathering this one. So when I'm done, I'll show you the outcome. So this is the first layer of my dress. Remember I cut out 10 inches that I'll be gathering on this first layer. So I'm done gathering it. I'll now go ahead and gather it on my main dress. Gather this on my main dress. So it forms that gathers on that outer layer you saw on the thumbnail. Yes. See. And gather this was 10 inches. Then I left a little space. You can leave. I left 4 inches. You can leave 3, you can leave 4, depending on how you want it. All it's just dependent on your choice, your preference. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this to my main body. So I'm done joining. You can see I've gathered here and they've gathered here. So it's not left for me to attach my upper bodies to this. Then I think we're 90% ready. You can see, right? I used the black sheet. So I'll go ahead and attach my upper bodies to this. So I've gone ahead to notch the midpoint. And here, this is already notched. The lower bodies is already notched. See it here. See here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the fabric to fabric. I'll go ahead and attach it from the midpoint. This is the midpoint. So I'm going to pin it down. Make sure they are the same in length, both up and lower bodies. And then I'll now sew on it with my 1/2 inch allowance I left. So I'm done joining. So I'll go ahead and attach the sleeve. You can see how beautiful. So I went ahead to do my sleeve. You can see how beautiful it is. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I achieved this look. This is a puff sleeve. So just watch me and see how I achieved this. First, I would start by gathering here. I'll gather here and here. So like I said, I'll go ahead. It's either you gather or you do pleats. You now pleat here and here. Pleat up here and pleat down here. Then after doing that, I'll now take the actual measurement I have after pleating. Use this to turn it. So just watch it. So I've gone ahead to pleat and I gathered here. I pleated here. So I'll just use this and turn this side, front facing front. So I'm going to sew here now. So I'm done joining this to this. Remember, front facing front. So now, to avoid this from touching this child, we're going to do like this, and so I'll just measure my baby's round sleeve. Her round sleeve is 8, so divided by 2 we have 4. So I'm working with round sleeve 4 here. So I'll just mark out 4. This is 4. So I'm going to just sew here. I'll sew here to close it up. I'm trimming now. So cut out my threads. So now the next thing is I'll turn inside out. So you see. So now the next thing now is I will sew this together just to keep them in place before attaching to my main dress. I'll sew this together. So let me join this together and show you the outcome. Just open up, hold here, start sewing just to hold it in place. But if you can work without sewing this, fine, but it's advisable you do it. So I'm done attaching it. You can see my sleeve is ready. So I'll go ahead and attach this to my main bodice, my dress. See how beautiful, small and beautiful. It's so fine. So you won't even know where it is. It's closed up, so this child can be very rest assured that it will not scratch her. I mean the sequin. So let me go ahead and attach this. Remember, when you're attaching to the dress, you start from the midpoint here to the midpoint of the dress. Attach around the sleeve. So I'm going ahead to join it. So the remaining and the last thing now is to attach my zipper, and that will be all. So I'll go ahead and attach my zipper on my fabric first. So I'm done. Oh yes, see our premium sleeve. I've attached my zipper, and this is our dress. It's ready. See how beautiful it is. I'll put it on my mannequin so you can see.